The following is a production of CUTV Sports.
From the MAC on the campus of Mercyhurst University in Erie, Pennsylvania, tonight the California Vulcans have traveled up Interstate 79 to Erie once again to take on the Mercyhurst Lakers. Hello and welcome to the broadcast, everyone. My name is Matt Hagee. Alongside me is Zach Prosper. And Zach, the Vulcans 1 week ago were back in Erie on the other side of town and got a big win, but had a bit of a letdown on Saturday at home against Slippery Rock.
Yeah, against Slippery Rock, California was really struggling in the first half. Went 6 minutes before hitting their first field goal, and they trailed at halftime by 10. Within the second half, they really turned things on. They ended up only losing the game by 2, 64-62. They ended up tying it, but they could not take the lead. Great games from Jabby and Richard Smith, and Calvin Brown even getting his first double-digit game as a Vulcan.
And as for the Lakers, they were off on Saturday, but a week ago they faced off against Seton Hill and right up here, and they got a big win to keep pace with their city rivals in first place.
Yeah, because Mercyhurst won that game 70-50 and Gannon lost to California on Thursday night, Mercyhurst is the first place team in the PSAC West right now, and they have been playing like it all year. They beat IUP at IUP. They've beaten Gannon. They also beat Slippery Rock, I'm pretty sure. Mercyhurst right now, at the beginning of the year when we saw them, they didn't look like they'd be the greatest, but right now they are playing really hot so far.
And they really are. And the last time these two teams faced off was back right here in March. We didn't have a TV game. I was up here calling the game on radio for WCAL, but California had a late lead in the first round of the playoffs, but Mercyhurst came back.
And I'm actually going to skip ahead of time for you a little bit. It was actually in the fall semester that they met again. The last time they were here was in the playoffs, but in the fall semester, Mercyhurst ended up beating Cal by 5. Richard Smith had an opportunity to take the lead with about a second left with a 3. He missed it. Mercyhurst hit their free throws and won the game. California, they can hang with Mercyhurst. It's just a matter of whether they can beat them or not.
And for our players to watch tonight for California, you just mentioned him, Richard Smith. He's very key, and he got a lot of size to go up against a tough Mercyhurst frame.
Yeah, 6'9" is Richard Smith. He's third in the PSAC with rebounds at just over 8 a game. He's had a couple games though where he's kind of struggling to get rebounds. I expect him to have a big game here tonight with a clear size advantage against Mercyhurst.
And for Mercyhurst, we're going to take a look at the newest Laker who really came alive in the second half in the Convocation Center and helped the Lakers get that big road win.
Yeah, Dre Williams, he had 18 points against the Vulcans, tied for the game lead with Damon Jones. Williams is the second leading scorer on this team. The only other player to average in double figures with him is Damon Jones, who I mentioned before. But you have a lot of other players in this Mercyhurst team we've heard of before. Dre Williams really made his name stick out last time we saw him. I expect him to have another big game tonight.
These games between the Vulcans and the Lakers always come down to the final minute. We even have a pep band here tonight in the MAC, so stay tuned for all the action between the Vulcans and the Lakers next on CUTV.
NCAA Division II has much to cheer about, as nearly 100,000 student athletes compete with passion and pride. And I'm pleased to share the best news of all. Student athletes are outperforming the rest of the D2 student body in graduation rates. Just another reason why you'll hear us say with pride, I chose Division II. Learn more at d2sa.org.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
Welcome back to the MAC, and excuse us, we had a bit of technical difficulties, but we are underway at the MAC. California won the opening tip-off here. The starting five for the Vulcans are Jake Jackiebeck, Drew Cook, Khalil Jabby, Richard Smith, who just took that shot and missed, and Calvin Brown. James Ewing, who just grabbed that rebound, Dre Williams, Callan Daly, Andy Hoying, and Terrence Ingram are the starting five for the Mercyhurst Lakers.
And the one guy we usually see when we come to Mercyhurst, Gino Nana, not in the starting lineup. He hasn't been since that last game at California. Now
Ewing with the ball, passes it back to Ingram, who takes it back here. Great atmosphere so far. Two different student sections in this game here. So I noticed how Mercyhurst, their other athletes really support each other's team. As Dre Williams takes a jumper just in and out of the rim and rebounded by Khalil Jabby. Jabby back the other way. Pull back and give it to Richard Smith. Now out to Cook. Drew Cook hands it back to Jackiebeck at the top of the key. Jackiebeck works around and hands it back off to Cook, the sophomore. Vulcans taking their time. There's Calvin Brown getting his first start of the season. Jackiebeck in the corner, 12 on the shot clock. Mercyhurst defense giving Cal no lanes to the basket, 7 seconds. Here's Jackiebeck, top of the key, three-pointer, no good. Rebounded by Calvin Brown, who misses the dunk. Richard Smith grabs the rebound. They're going to call a foul on Mercyhurst.
Great opportunity there for Calvin Brown. We've not seen him have hops like that yet in any of the games we've seen him in. And getting that rebound is huge. Trying to go for the dunk. You could do that. You could just sit down on your feet and try and go back up. But it's going to be Vulcan ball regardless because of that foul went on Callan Daly.
Now here is Khalil Jabby, top of the key, worked on by Ingram, and they're going to call a foul on Jabby if he made too much contact there with Ingram.
And I don't know about that call. He was just kind of dipping his shoulders, spinning around, no hook or anything there. Yeah, maybe a little bit of a push-off, but I wouldn't say that's enough to maybe warrant a foul call.
And there's Terrence Ingram handing it off to Callan Daly. Now back to Andy Hoying. Over to Ingram at the right key. Worked on by Jabby and back to Hoying. Hoying thought about three, fakes out, gives it to Daly. Daly to Ingram. Push inside, rejected by Richard Smith. And that one's blocked by Calvin Brown right by the vents. Ingram slides that, almost takes us out. Khalil Jabby with the ball, puts up the shot, no good. Stolen away by Ewing.
And my goodness, a close call there with James Ewing. Giving it all he had, though, you have to really admire the ability for Ewing to keep track of that ball, and Jabby on the other end not hitting the shot. How many times have we come up here and seen California struggle to shoot?
Just going to move my laptop down there, but now this ball stolen away by Drew Cook. He's working on two by Daly, puts up the shot, and that one is good. Drew Cook puts the Vulcans on the board. It's 2-0.
A good shot there by Drew Cook. He's had some quiet games offensively. He had 16 against IUP, but that was without Jake Jackiebeck. And then he missed the Seton Hill game, and he's really, I think, still trying to find his offensive groove since sitting out that game.
Now, Ingram. Looking, finds Dre Williams. Williams worked on by Jabby. Back out to Daly. And Ingram will take it back. 10 seconds on the shot clock here. He's taking his time trying to work here. Mercyhurst not the flashiest offensive team that can get done. Hoying loses balance. 3 on the shot clock. They got to get something off. Here's a three-pointer. And good! What a shot there by Terrence Ingram.
And Terrence Ingram, he's a senior. Only 3.3 points per game, and he just matched that total right there with 16:50 to go.
And Terrence Ingram, think about it, that was with 1 second on the shot clock here, and he can get that crowd fired up here. Great looking crowd, and I can see Larry Bird over there, so they're even getting with celebrities tonight.
And the Larry Bird cutout currently laying on the floor on your screen. Brown with the ball now going down low.
Calvin Brown double teamed under pressure, gives it off to Richard Smith to Cook. 5 seconds shot clock. Cook with a shot off the side of the rim and out of bounds. That is going to be Mercyhurst basketball.
And one thing about the student sections here at Mercyhurst, they will hound you. If you miss a shot, if you miss a dunk like we saw before, they're going to get on you, and that's very intimidating because the fans sit above you, especially on this side behind us. On the opposite side, they're kind of next to you and going up, but the side behind us, they're above you. It's kind of like the Hammermill Center. They can yell down, and the way this roof is constructed, sound's going to come back down.
And this place very intimidating, especially with the good team Mercyhurst have here. Here's a three by Callan Daly off the rebound by Richard Smith.
Good rebound there by Smith. I said he needed to have a big game rebound.
Jabby charges the basket. No good. Rebounded out of bounds by James Ewing.
And on that one, it looked like from the angle that I had looking at the screen, he looked like he was out of bounds when he grabbed that rebound. We're going to see Armand Marks check into the game. Looks like Jabby's going to be checking out. So quick substitution here, just 4 minutes into the game.
You try to find Armand Marks back in the game, get a lot of bench impact here Jackie Beck will be inbounding here. 16:01 remaining first half. Just starting off here. 3-2 Lakers with the lead. Jackie Beck looking, can't find anyone. There's a lob pass to Armin Marks deep, and he'll grab it and give it over to Drew Cook. Inside to Calvin Brown. Works on by Bynes. That one stolen away by Bynes.
Yeah, and that one looked like it was tipped away by Terrence Ingram.
Williams puts on the Jets, but he's going to force a foul for Jake Jackie-Beck, and that will be the Vulcans' second foul so far here.
And that also brings us to our first media with 15:48 to go. And Matt, we'll go ahead and look at the tail of the tape. We went beforehand in the game, and you look at this, the offensive numbers favor California mostly, but defense, Mercyhurst, and that's what they're known for, their defense. They don't turn the ball over. They force a lot of turnovers. They force 16 turnovers a game. In California, you see they turn the ball over a lot. They already have so far. This game plays into Mercyhurst, but California, they can stick with the Lakers a lot. It's just a matter of overcoming short deficits to be able to take the lead and maybe win.
And the last time the Vulcans won up here at the MAC was February 2012, and some early highlights here in this game. And this was the first basket game for any team. Drew Cook taking the mishandled pass there by Callan Daly, puts up the shot, and they get Drew Cook going because he missed the game against Seton Hill. And then that was a great shot there by Terrence Ingram to get Mercyhurst on the board, and that puts us where we're at 3-2 as the shot clock was expiring there. But for these two teams, California, they're right now, they're sitting in a good spot. They're not hanging around sixth, but they got a big stretch coming up. Tonight, obviously, and then you got a really hot Edinburgh team coming in the Convocation Center. They barely beat on the road, but now they get that advantage that they're at home, but then they go right to the KCAC next Wednesday. It's going to be a very tough stretch for California. It's going to be key to the rest of the season. Now, inbounded pass almost stolen away there by Armin Marks, but will be corralled by Ewing, who gives it to Ingram. Now Ewing, top of the key. He's going to go for a long two, no good, rebounded by by Marks. Jackie Beck takes it back, hands it over to Marks, gives it off to Drew Cook. Cook puts some moves on, gives it to Richard Smith. Now to Calvin Brown to Jay, almost stolen away by the other number 5 on the court, Jere Williams. Cook works around, gives it back to Marks. Richard Smith, long two. That one's good. Richard Smith, he's got his first 2 points of the game. It's 4-3 Vulcans.
Yeah, both of these centers, Ewing and Smith, we've seen now they can extend the defense and go out and force you to play away from the basket and try and open things up. That's going to be huge tonight if both of those players can start hitting those shots.
Sean Bynes gives it off to Dre Williams. Williams with the end rejected by Richard Smith. He'll go out of bounds, but Richard Smith with a little SWAT team action there.
And that is Richard Smith's second block tonight. He has a lot of rebounds, but he also plays very well in the defensive end, blocking shots away. We're going to see Damon Jones come in, who's actually the leading scorer for Mercyhurst. He doesn't even start, so that's great bench play from him. He'll
be one of the top bench players in the PSAC as he gives a long outlet pass to Ingram, who fires it over to Daly. Inside to Bynes. Bynes is going to take a long two. That one is off the mark, rebounded by Marks. Jackie Beck will take it back, and we're going to see Khalil Jabby at the next stoppage. Marks puts some moves on, tries to go, puts a left-hand shot, and they're going to call a foul on Callan Daly.
We'll see. Mark's going to go to the line. He has 69.6% this year. We're going to see Richardson join Jabby, and they're actually going to call that foul on Daly. That's his second. Mark's at the line. Chancellor from James Madison.
And Marks gets that first free throw going, only shooting 69.6% from the free throw stripe. We're going to see Tony Richardson for the first time this. He's coming in for Calvin Brown, and Cook will check back out for Jabby, as mentioned earlier here.
And Calvin Brown had a decent first about 5.5 minutes, a couple rebounds in there. Cook, a great defensive player, but he's not so much in the offensive end. Jabby, he brings you the crisp passing. It does turn over the ball a lot, so you got to watch that.
Marks gets the members bounce on that second one to make it a 6-3 lead for the Vulcans here. 14:34, still very early in this first half. Nice little swiping pass there by Coyote Afinfuja. Now Afinfuja goes up on Smith, puts up the bat, and puts it in. How about the big shot there from the transfer from Howard Community College?
Yeah, Coyote Afinfuja, his first 2 points, averaging just under 4 a game. Ball almost stolen there.
Damon Jones almost got a big turnover on Jabby, but Jackie Beck will take it and give it to Marks in the right corner. He's going to pull it up at 3, no good. Rebounded by Richardson over 3 guys. He'll lose the ball, and it's rebounded by Gino Nana.
Gino Nana, his first action in the game, and you know what? He may not put up a lot of points against the Vulcans, but it finds some way every time he plays them to burn them at the end, and I'm expecting it again today.
And those horrors of the February 2nd matchup. And that one is good, a three-pointer there by Gino Nana, and you called it, but this time it's in the first half.
He averages 7 a game, and going into the last time that Mercyhurst and Cal played, he had about 2 a game, so he's upped his offensive abilities since they last met. He's still not perfect like he was last year as a sophomore.
Now Jackie back in the right corner looking for a response, gives it to Richard Smith. Guarded by Afinfuja, puts up a shot, and Richard Smith off to a nice start. He's got 4, and we're tied at 8.
I don't know if you want Richard Smith taking that shot every time, the long 2 fadeaway. Hey, if it's gonna work once in a while, go ahead and take it though. Stretch out the defense.
And honestly, I think it could show up on the highlights tomorrow and see our first CUTV News Center of the spring 2015 semester, as now that ball will go off there. We're gonna have a call on California.
That was a clean block by Richardson. Look at it here, clean block by Richardson, but then they call the foul after the play, after the rebound is already coming down on Richardson. I don't agree with that call. He was stepping away from him, trying to go for that rebound. Bynes gonna go to the line.
Bynes shooting 71.4% for the season. He is 6'9", and you kind of saw him come out a little bit in that playoff matchup back in March last season, as Bynes will hit the first one there. 71.4% from the free throw line this season.
Yeah, Bynes, he's played a little bit of a part in every game since I've been announcing. Actually, my first time announcing was a freshman here, and that was the game where Jonathan Winion hit the turnaround fadeaway 3 in overtime to win the game. And Bynes didn't play a big role in that game, but I do remember him, and he's really grown since then.
And back then, Bynes was just a freshman, and here is a 10-8 lead for the Lakers as Jackie Beck gives it to Marks. As Tony Richardson came basketball, plows over Bynes, no call, rebounded by Marks. Marks can't get it to go, and rebounded by Afinfuja.
If you're going to get those offensive rebounds, you got to get the scores.
Damon Jones puts on too many steps. It's going to be a turnover for the Lakers.
You also probably could have called an offensive foul in there somewhere, because he kind of just, well, no, Richardson just fell down in his own. Jackie Beck, he kind of shoved off a little bit. We're going to see Cook check back into the game now, too.
Cook will check in for Jackie Beck here as we have 12:41 remaining, 10-8 to score, and it's kind of about what we expect, a low-scoring game. These games are always low-scoring because these teams are both very defensive-minded.
And not so much this year, actually, for California. I'm going to argue that point with you. They're a lot more about offense this year, I think. It just plays into the fact we're going to have an offensive foul here, it looks like. Oh, and now you're going to get Richardson. He's getting angry. You can't have that if you're Richardson. We've seen
and
technical fouls called in this game. They're asking him, hey, just calm down. You're good. But you cannot get the attitude going. It looks like Richardson's going to sit down for Calvin Brown.
And one can't do that to force a technical foul. I understand you're frustrated, but if you do that there, you're going to get the crowd on you the rest of the night.
And I mean, Bynes probably shouldn't be going in there reaching for the ball anyways, but
True.
If you're Richardson, you cannot smack his arm away. And on that foul call, Richardson did hook his arm around, so it was a good call in my opinion.
Lakers will take it back. We're going to see Ian Hale for the first time. He is from Kalamazoo, Michigan. Now Hale. Working around. Gives it over to Nana, and that was blocked by Armin Marks, and that's going to go out of bounds there. So good defensive play there by Marks.
Yeah, that's about 3 or 4 blocks for California in this one already. I know 2 at least by Smith. You also had 1 by Richardson, so that's 4 now. Marks getting his own. We're going to see Daniel Sapp check into the game at the next stop.
And that pass is way down court, but nothing wrong with that. As Gino Nana across the basketball gives it off to Hale. Hale directing traffic here. 12 minutes to go in the first half. Here's Afinfuja. Over to Onana. Looks inside. Afinfuja trying to get around, and the shot clock runs out there. California forces Mercyhurst, and probably Mercyhurst, I don't think they realized how short the clock was. And we will take our second media timeout of the first half, and we will take a break ourselves. Good game early going on here. Mercyhurst with a 10-8 lead over the Vulcans. Stay tuned for the rest of the first half here on CUTV.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to make a wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
The Mercyhurst Athletic Conference, 11:54 remaining here in the first half, and the Lakers hold a 10-8 lead, but Zach, the Vulcans are going to get the basketball back here for the next possession. It's a very back-and-forth game, but again, no one pulling away as normal.
Yeah, it's been a very back-and-forth game, like you said, and this is after a shot clock violation, and I didn't even realize the shot clock was running down when it happened. I looked up and it's on 0. I'm like, okay. So California has an opportunity to tie it or take the lead, and that's what you need to do. You got to keep the deficit small. And let's see Dombrowski.
Yep, Dombrowski and Daniel Sapp with their first action of the game. Here's Cook, almost loses the ball. Flies over Williams, and they're going to call a blocking foul on Williams. Good play by the sophomore.
And Cook, when we see this play again, as Jones is going to come check it back in. Well, look at the play here. Before that, what I admired was his split between the two defenders after faking that three, going in between them and getting the opportunity for a shot, and then he gets the foul called on him as well.
Drew Cook, the sophomore from Hall of Fame quarterback Joe Namath's hometown, Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, is that one bull rattle out there. Cook, 73.5% from the free throw strip. And also the Dean of Student Media, J.R. Wheeler's hometown, Beaver Falls.
Yeah, and Cook, he's not the best free throw shooter. He misses about 1 out of every 4 as he hits that one there. He has 3 points now. Maybe see him get towards the 8 to 10 point plateau. Would be good for him to get some offensive semblance going.
Vulcans only down by 1. Here's Dre Williams. He still hasn't scored yet. And Damon Jones. The Williams inside to Afinfuja. Afinfuja puts up a shot, and it's good. Afinfuja's got 4, and he's already matched his points per game average.
And now you're down by 3, California. You got to keep it at least within 5 at all times, in my opinion. Mercyhurst, they're not the best shooting team.
Judge Dombrowski, a good look shot there, but it does not get the members bounce, and Mercyhurst will take it back.
And Dombrowski shooting over 50% on his threes this year, and that was a great look. It just spun out of the basket. 10:50 left. You got to hold here if you're California. Don't let them get a 3. You can live with 2s.
Damon Jones almost loses the basketball, gets it back. Keeves almost in. Cook finally punches it out, and Calvin Brown gets the ball.
The basketball gods just said, the ball's not meant for you at this time, Damon Jones. You lost it 3 times. 3's a charm. You finally turn it over. You're down by 3. California has the chance to try and cut into it.
Drew Cook almost pickpocketed by Hale, and he is. This time by Williams. Williams pushing around Jabby. Puts the nice little right look up, and Mercyhurst has their largest lead of the game at 5.
And this is where Mercyhurst really gets you, the defense. I know we've said it a lot, but when the defense is on, they're going to do everything in their power. They can score 40 points and win a game, in my opinion. They could score maybe 35 and win a game if need be. They almost did that against Gannon this year. There's any possibility California's going to win. You got to force it on the offensive side.
Here's Jabby. 9:54 remaining in the first half. Looks around, double teamed. And that was stolen away by Hale, and he gets back by Dombrowski. Nice play. Almost another disaster for the Vulcans, but they only got 3 on the shot clock. Jabby fires at the shot clock and buries it. Khalil Jabby beating his chest, and he's got a big shot for the Vulcans. It's 14-12.
And Jabby, yeah, that was a good shot. Beat your chest in that one, get it back within 2, but you cannot lose focus. Don't just let up after that one big shot. Keep your foot on the gas pedal.
Now Hale. So Damon Jones thought about a 3-0 work inside. Jones to the basket, no good. Great defense there by Calvin Brown. Sapp over to Jabby. That one's almost stolen. Jabby with another shot, and that one's good. That's a long 2. We're all tied here at 14.
So Khalil Jabby, 5 straight points for the Vulcans. He's the leading scorer in the team too, 12.3. So get him going, limit his turnovers as well, and you can have some offensive success tonight, I think. We're going to see Jakubik come into the game soon.
And also Richard Smith as well. 5-0 run by the Vulcans here. It's Hale at the top of the key. Should be top corner. Brown taking his time, so we're going to have 10 on the shot clock here. Guarded by Sapp. Hands it back to Jones. 5 seconds. They're going to have to get something off here. Jones guarded, Jabby, Jones. Basket swatted away. Calvin Brown And that almost went into the little rafter they have over there.
What a swat by Calvin Brown. My goodness, let's watch this one again. The big 6'8" transfer from Cheney just saying, nuh-uh, not in my house. Do the Dikembe finger wag if you want to there, buddy.
Definitely would say not today there, as we're going to see Richard Smith and Jake Jackbeck checking.
Roll that last play back.
And it looks like the official is going to come over here to review this next play.
This is not immediate timeout. Not yet, anyway. Hey, how you doing there? Yeah, just replay the last out-of-bounds play there, the last whistle. Yes. You can't put the time back on. Let me see. Do that one more time. I don't know if you're able to slow it down at all. Just 1 second. Just for 1 second.
What do you think?
And we are back here, and that was a nice little official review here by the officials, and looks like they're going to. And so definitely, normally would go to commercial. We get to hear what's behind the scenes, so a little great action here on CUTV. The official here, 8:35 remaining here in the first half. We are tied here at 14, and Mercyhurst will get the ball back here if Calvin Brown was swat the ball.
1 second on the shot clock.
Off the rim, almost a good look there, and it hit the top of hit the little black wire up there, and it's going to be automatically California basketball.
And we're going to see Noah Vickers has come in for Mercyhurst, standing at 5'10". He reminds me of a player for California, Tynell Thornton. He's so small. There are a lot of small players on this Mercyhurst team. California now, you're on a 5-0 run. You have a chance to take a lead here, 8:20 to go in the first half.
Now here's Khalil Jabby. Brown giving off to Daniel Sapp. Sapp back to Brown. Brown, long two, off the rim, rebounded by Ewing.
And Calvin Brown, I don't think he's much of a jump shooter. He's more of a get inside the paint, towards a restricted area, and put up some easy layups. I don't know if you can, I've not really seen him extend his game out past that point just yet.
Now here is Noah Vickers. Is it off to Onana? Onana, pullback jumper. Off the rim, rebounded by Jackbeck.
We're going to see Armin Marks come into the game in a few moments.
Jabby, long three. That one's no good. Oh, good look, but no luck there. As the ball got out of bounds, almost hit Mercyhurst coach, but it'll be Laker basketball.
And Calvin Brown trying to argue that that should be the California ball, but we have our third immediate timeout, 7:36 to go, all tied at 14. Not a lot of scoring in this one like we expected, Matt. But it seems like California, they're starting to find a little bit more of a rhythm on offense.
And their defense is really holding themselves down there, as this was another three. That was a great three there by Gino Onana. That's something he does there. And Richard Smith with 4 points so far. Calvin Brown even getting involved. Everybody's getting involved so far, and this was Dre Williams' first 2 points. Look at a little right-hand hook to get Mercyhurst. And where we're at, Khalil Jabby get a big three to start the 5-0 run, and then now we're tied at 14. 7:36 remaining in the first half.
And we look at the team leaders for California. Jabby, I already mentioned, he's the leading scorer at just over 12 points a game. Smith, third in the PSAC at 8.2 rebounds a game. Jabby, 86 assists. It's all Jabby and Smith, and these are two players that didn't even play for California last year. That's something to admire, that the transfers can come in and adapt to this system immediately. And you look at Mercyhurst, they have a lot of players that come in as transfers as well. You have Ewing, 5.3 rebounds. Mercyhurst, not a good rebounding team then if you only have 5.3 as your leader. And Damon Jones, leading scorer. You have two players with 25 steals each. And Callan Daly playing the most minutes at 29.5, so a lot of substitutions I see from that as well for the Hurst.
And now early shot totals so far. Cal only 1 for 6 from three-point range, 5 for 17, 29.4%. Mercyhurst only shooting 5 for 16 for 31.3%. Leading scorer for Cal is Khalil Jabby, and for Mercyhurst it is Afinfuja with just 4. Back to action here as Mercyhurst has possession of the basketball. This is Terrence Ingram. Gives it off to Onana. Back to Ingram. It's like no rush needed here by the Lakers. Inside the Ewing. Good pass, outlet pass to Vickers off the rim. Rebounded again by Ewing. Ewing works on Jackie Beck. Calvin Brown with 2 hands, again with the block.
Now, you can do it with one, but he's just going to make sure you can't get there. Just wrap his big palms around the ball and make sure you can't get the shot off. Still tied up.
Ewing comes back with poking it out, but looks like it's going to be out on Ewing, and Cal will retain possession.
So Ewing trying to maintain possession over there, not able to, like we just saw there. And we're going to see Vickers check out. Looks like Dre Williams coming back into the game. And our player to watch, he only has 2 points so far, but he kind of went off in the second half against the Vulcans.
Javi, so off to Calvin Brown. This Mercyhurst team is a very second half team. That one's almost stolen away by Dre Williams. Gives it off to Smith, back to Jackie Beck. Works on Ingram, puts up the shot, just in and out of the rim, rebounded by Onana on the fly. He's gonna come down, gives it to Ingram. Ingram with the left hand hook and in. The Lakers take the lead back.
And that was actually Ewing on the shot. He gets his first 2 points of the night. But Khalil Jabi, you can't really fault him for that. He was on a 4-on-1 situation. And you're not going to win a fight 4-on-1 no matter how big of a fighter you are.
You could even see Onana's speed there to set up that big play there to give the Lakers the lead back. 6:14 left in the first half. Here's Richard Smith. Gives it back to Jabi. And out to Calvin Brown. Gives it to Marks. 10 on the shot clock. And Terrence Ingram rolled in the Marks there, and they're going to call the foul on him.
That's the oddest foul that I've ever seen. I roll into a play and I get called for a foul. That seems to be a weird call to me. That's going to be Ingram's first foul. Both teams have 4 fouls now, 6:03 to go, so it looks like somebody might be shooting free throws towards the end of this half.
These two teams we talked about earlier, they're very even teams. So basically almost like the same team, and the score's close. Each team has 4 fouls, a lot of evens right here. Marks will inbound right in front of the Mercyhurst pep band. Jabi takes possession. Out to Calvin Brown. Looking. Just to hold it. Now under pressure by Hoying. He better watch himself there. Almost got called for offensive possession foul. Here's Khalil Jabi. Long 3. No good. Rebounded by Brown. He's really getting a lot of work under the baskets. That ball's tipped right back to Marks. Brown gets it back inside to Richard Smith on Ewing. Dre Williams got a piece of the basketball there. Looks like he'll get the block. Ewing tried to get it down, and it looks like he might have hit the floor there, and it's going to be Cal basketball.
So that's twice now. Ewing has gone down to the floor getting the ball, but he's out of bounds. Look here at this play. You see Ewing, his shoulders running against that baseline. Good eyes by the official down there underneath the basket to get the call.
Jabi will inbound here. 5:30 remaining here in the first half. Just a 2-point lead for the Mercyhurst Lakers. So like some more discussion here as we're going to get ready back. Jabi will inbound. Fresh shot clock inside the Marks. Marks puts up the right hand hook, his non-shooting hand, and it looks like he'll get fouled and go to the line.
And Marks upset he could not get that layup to fall, and that would have been a big opportunity because now you're not assured those 2 points. You have to work for them instead. That foul was on Ewing, his first, so California 2 fouls away from being in the bonus.
Marks for the second time tonight going to the line. He hit his first 2 and hits that one. So now it's going to be 16-15 Mercyhurst here. 5:28 remaining. We're going to see Drew Cook check into the game for most likely Richard Smith.
And it is Richard Smith, and we see Ian Hale check into the game for Damon Jones.
Marks, the southpaw, and just puts in. He's 4 for 4 for free throw stripes, and we're all tied back here at 16.
Yeah, no player for California has more than 5. You have 2 with 4, Smith and Marks, and then Cook with 3.
There's a lot of balanced scoring here. Here's Hoying to Williams. Williams is going to take a 3. He's going to bury it. There's Dre Williams for the first 3 in the game for himself, and then Mercyhurst takes the lead right back.
I remember when we were at the Convocation Center for this game. Williams, the first basket of the game was a 3. We didn't know who he was. Then he kept hitting them more and more again.
Jackie back almost with an answer. It's rebounded by Marks. Marks will take it. Ingram got a piece of it. Calvin Brown throws down the dunk.
So he makes up for missing that one before. Gets the dunk there. His first 2 points of the game. Give him credit for an offensive rebound as well on that one.
Here's Hale over to Ewing. Hoying will give it back to Hale. 4:38 remaining here in this first half. Great game. Hale will take it back, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Really planning a possession out here. Hoying 10 seconds on the shot clock. Hale inside Williams. Williams with speed, right hand hook. Calvin Brown almost got called for goaltending, but Williams will put it in. That's 5 straight points.
Yeah, his hand got caught in the basket, and even if he touched it, the basket was going in anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered.
Here's Javi. Over to Drew Cook, and over to Calvin Brown. Inside Jackie Beck, miscommunication there, and looks like they're going to call it on Jere Williams. That'll be his second.
And getting Jere Williams out of the game might be very beneficial for California. Bynes and Afanfuja are going to come in. Hoying and Ewing going to come out. We're also going to have Onana come in for Jere Williams. And we already seen Onana hit a three-pointer in this game so far. And California also has to note, Mercyhurst's next foul puts California in the bonus.
There's Javi. Pass to Brown. Gives it right back to Javi. Javi drive loose best of basketball. They're going to call a foul here on the Lakers. It's going to be on, looks like they're calling on Hale.
And that's going to send Javi to the line too, because that's the 7th team foul. And I don't know, because Hale is kind of off away from him. He put his arm down. Maybe that's what caused the foul call. But I'm not sure. We're going to see Brown check out. I believe it was Smith that checked back in.
And you are correct about that. Khalil Jabi will go to the line, and he's one of the Vulcans' better free throw shooters at 82%. Jabi, the leading scorer against the Rock on Saturday, really coming alive here. And kind of storming ahead for the team point lead. Jabi hits the first one to cut it to a 2-point lead now for the Lakers, and Jabi's one of the transfers from Northern Virginia Community College in Alexandria, Virginia.
And he's only a junior. There's one senior on this team, and that's Armand Marks, and he's not even starting. So all 5 starters come back next year for this team.
Javi buries both of them. Gonna make it a 21-20, 4:01 remaining here in the first half. Now we're gonna see Jackie Beck check out for Daniel Sapp.
That's 7 for Javi.
Javi picking right off where he left off back on Saturday. Ian Hale gives it off to Ingram. Inside the binds, a nice spin moves, puts in the right hand hook, and Mercyhurst counters. It's 23-20.
That's 4 for Bynes now. In California, you got to start getting some stops on the defensive end. Can't let Mercyhurst get their offense rolling because their defense is too suffocating to allow you to be able to play comeback in the second half.
Javi over to Smith. Smith puts on the moves, double teams, forces to pass to Marks. Marks can't handle it, and it's going to be out of bounds. We're going to take our final media timeout of this first half. 23-20, the Mercyhurst Lakers lead over the California Vulcans. Stay tuned for the final couple minutes of the first half here on CUTV.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to make a wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
The MAC here in Erie, Pennsylvania, where the Lakers lead 23-20 over the Vulcans. My name is Matt Hagen, alongside me is Zach Crosby. We got 3:29 remaining here in the first half. And Zach, the last time we had the last media timeout, Mercyhurst was only shooting 31%. Now they're at 40.9%.
Yeah, they've definitely gotten a lot better looks, especially inside. And they've also got a couple more of their threes to fall down.
Here's Hale. Puts it off to Onana. Around, gives it to Ingram. Ingram's going to pull up for a 3, just out of the rim, rebounded by Richard Smith. He's in transition, pulls back, gives it to Sapp. Now over to Jabi with exactly 3 minutes remaining here in the first half. Calvin Brown over to Sapp. Sapp stepped on the line. It's going to be a turnover.
And Sapp can't believe it, and we didn't have clear, clarification of whether or not he actually was out of bounds or not with 3:29 to go. Mercyhurst, you can make it 3 and give yourself the biggest lead, but if you make it 2, it's still only a 5-point game. And California's come back from down by 10 to Gannon, which Gannon is a much more offensive-minded team, I think, than Mercyhurst is.
And also double-digit comeback to tie the game on Saturday against Slippery Rock. Now, Ingram passing around to Onana. Onana works in, pulls up a floater, no good. Bynes can't control the rebound, gets it back, gets it tapped out, and they're going to call a foul, looks like on Calvin Brown.
And I don't know if I agree with that foul call there. It looked like he got all ball from where I'm sitting at right now, looking right at the play. We'll look at the foul right here. That's all ball.
Yeah,
I don't know where the foul call is on that one. He just shoved the ball out from behind his hands.
But I mean, those calls are so tough down there. It's amazing how quick this game is, especially the officials. Here's Sean Bynes again to the free throw stripe. And he buries the first one there. He had his last 2 as well before upping his free throw total. That was at 71.4% mentioned earlier. Bynes, and good. So Mercyhurst once up again, 5 points, which ties their largest lead of the game.
And if you're California, you have to get a response in this possession. You cannot go down by more than 5 in this game.
Sapp over to Drew Cook, back to Javi. Calvin Brown plows over Ingram. They're going to call a blocking foul on Ingram.
And that's a surprising call. Let's see if Ingram's feet were moving on that one, because that would have been a clear indicator. All right, Ingram was moving on that one, so that's a good blocking foul call. The problem, though, Calvin Brown, not the greatest free throw shooter in the world, and it's only a 1-and-1 still. So California may still end up with no points in this possession if he cannot make the first.
We're going to see Vickers check in for Terrence Ingram. Ingram, that was his second foul so far in this half. Calvin Brown, the transfer from Cheney, joined the team mid-season and makes the first one.
So that at least gives California 1 point. If you make both, that's great. Brown now sitting at 3 points. He's 6'9" from Trevose, Pennsylvania. You mentioned he transferred from Cheney. Started, the second semester with the team after having to sit out for the first semester, probably after maybe leaving Cheney's team after the first semester last year.
Now he makes both of them 25-22 Lakers. We got 2:10 remaining here in the first half. Now, here's Onana. And over to Vickers. Back to Onana. We're under 2 here in the first half. Onana, good moves, good inside Bynes. How about the performance by Sean Bynes so far in this game?
Yeah, 8 points. He's the leading scorer for both teams right now. Still a 5-point game, just under 2 minutes to go, 1:45 left.
Jackie Beck. It's over to Drew Cook. Back to Sapp, worked on by Vickers. Here's the Jackie Beck in the right corner. So off to Richard Smith. Smith, pass, Cook, left corner. That is no good, rebounded by Bynes.
And, Cook, wide open look. He took his time, which is good, but maybe a little bit more time to get the right shot off. Looks like his feet were set, though, so.
And now Onana loses possession of the basketball. Good defense there by Jackie Beck.
And that one, he just kind of lost it and just went right into Brown's hands.
Calvin Brown thought about a 3. Gives it to Sapp. Sapp inside looking, puts up the shot, no good. Brown can't get the tip in. Rebounded by Richard Smith, puts up a shot over Bynes and gets it to fall. Richard Smith, he's got 6.
First time we've called his name in quite a while in this half. It's back to a 3-point game. Mercyhurst cannot hold for final possession, but they can play a 2-for-1 if they look at the clock right.
Here's Noah Vickers. Gives it off to Hale. Hale looking around, gives to a wide open Gene Onana, just in and out of the rim, rebounded by Brown, and still California, they can't save for last possession.
Actually, they can. They turned the shot clock off. They were running it wrongly for a few seconds, but 20 seconds. California, you got to set something up. You don't need the 3. You need a basket that can at least pull you a little bit closer in this one.
Jackie Beck, 12 seconds. Working around. Gives it to Sapp. Back to Jackie Beck. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Gives it to Smith. Smith blocked away by Sean Bynes. But looks like they're going to call a foul
And that is going to be a foul on Sean Bynes, so that's going to send Smith to the line. Great block there by Bynes, but it's all for naught because Smith might have an opportunity to get those points anyways.
And it looked like there, the block, now Smith will go to the line. The Mercyhurst section was, in fact, that was still almost a great play by Bynes.
It looked like his arm, though, came down on Smith's shoulder on that one.
Smith makes the first one there. Smith shooting 60.5% from the free throw stripe. The transfer from Lakeland Community College. He's out of Cleveland, Ohio. 2.9 seconds left here for Mercyhurst trying to get something. Richard Smith buries both of them. 1 point game, but Mercyhurst has some time. Bynes looking, almost stolen away by Jabby, and goes right into the student section. So now Mercyhurst still has 1.6 seconds.
That did run off, 1.3 seconds, so that really helps California's chances of being able to hold here, maybe go down by 1.
Here's Vickers. Fires, and he's well short anyway. Doesn't matter, goes off the rim, but again, it does not matter, and we are at the halftime here at the MAC.
Yeah, in California, you got to keep it close. You're doing a good job. You got to get a lot more shots to fall in there. You're getting good looks. You just haven't been able to hit them yet. If you can change that, play the defense you have been so far, you might escape with a victory.
A defensive war so far from Erie. Mercyhurst with a 1 point lead over Cal. Stay tuned for the second half next on CUTV.
NCAA Division II has much to cheer about, as nearly 100,000 student athletes compete with passion and pride. And I'm pleased to share the best news of all. Student athletes are outperforming the rest of the D2 student body in graduation rates. Just another reason why you'll hear us say with pride, I chose Division II. Learn more at d2sa.org.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
Welcome back to the MAC here in Erie, Pennsylvania on the campus of Mercyhurst University, where the hometown Lakers lead 27-26 over the California Vulcans. My name is Matt Hagee. Alongside of me is Zach Prosba. And Zach, this is about the game we expected, very defensive-minded. And what stat stands out to you the most so far?
Well, when you look at that stats, it's actually turnovers. California, they started the game out with a lot of turnovers, and they kind of calmed it down a little bit. And rebounds especially. California out-rebounding Mercyhurst by 8 and hitting your free throws too. Only 1 free throw miss, but you got to start hitting your shots. We saw the same thing against Slippery Rock. If you're California, you have to hit your shots. It doesn't matter what you do at the line and how many rebounds you get or how well you control the ball. If that clock runs down to 0 and you have no points, then that possession is wasted in my opinion. California, you're going to have to hit your shots to win this game.
And it's always, the way this place is just shaped up, it's always just kind of a terror for the home team. You got the crowd basically on you. I can't think of another court in the PSAC that this close to the game. And Zach, here's some highlights.
Yeah, well, look at the highlights. This is the first basket of the game for California. It was a Drew Cook layup off a steal. He's had 3 points in this game. And you look here for Mercyhurst, just 3-ball after 3-ball. Then Jabby get one of his own, and then that was number 13, Coyote Afinfuja, thank you, getting the basket, and another 3 there. And that time a long 2 by Smith, and then Trey Williams, our player to watch. He has 2 there on the basket. We'll quickly update some other scores from around the PSAC West. Gannon and Slippery Rock down the road in Slippery Rock, tied at 25, about 3 minutes to go to half. Edinburgh up by 22 on Seton Hill at half. And then Clarion down by 10 to Pitt Johnstown about 4 minutes before half.
It's a big game in the playoffs here as we are underway. Lakers with the first possession. Here is Callan Daly inside the Ewing. Ewing plows over Jackie back there, no call, and loses the ball and stolen away by Jabby. Here comes Jabby with a lot of speed. Jabby, that one's swatted away by Terrence Ingram. Richard Smith, big fight for it, and Callan Daly's got it, and he's got numbers with him. Daly to Williams. Williams, right-hand hook, too strong. Here's Brown. Now it's one stolen away by Ingram. Ewing plows over
That's going to be a
Could see
foul
Calvin
on-
Brown there. They're going to call a foul on Brown.
That's going to be his second team first of the half, and this has been a crazy opening.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like Brown's foot might have been moving there to get that call, but a very close one, if that.
Ewing, and he could have been inside the charge circle too, but James Ewing going the line here, 65.9%, and he hits his first free throw to make it a 2-point game. And Ewing is from Buffalo, and he's actually a former Toledo Rocket.
Yeah, in Toledo, a Division I school. You have a couple Division I schools in here. You also see George Mason as well. Of course, we all know George Mason from that miracle run they made in the NCAA tournament about almost a decade ago.
29-26, here is Khalil Javi. Over to Brown, now out to Cook. Cook, around, gives it to Calvin Brown. Brown, double teamed by Ewing and Hoying, gives it out to Cook. Taking a lot of time on this possession. Brown puts some moves on. Fade away, jumper, no good. Almost airballed, and here comes Hoying. He gives it to Daly. Daly one-on-one with Jack Eubank. What's the Calvin Brown says no.
And that's a huge block. He had to be careful with the goaltending on that one, but it was just looping enough to be able to get the block on. And as soon as the ball goes above the rim, it's technically a goaltending because it would be coming down. That one was very close to being a possible goaltend.
Now Mercyhurst will inbound here. See who that is. That is Ingram going to be inbounding for the Lakers. 18:50 here in the second half. Here's Jere Williams. Over to Ingram. Ingram on the baseline, puts in the basket, and I believe that is Terrence Ingram's first 2 points of the game.
It's actually his fifth after he hit a three-pointer towards the beginning of the game. We haven't called his name since, so it's not wrong to think that's his first points. We just haven't called his name enough.
Now, once a 5-point lead again for the Lakers. They have not stretched it out besides 5. Here's Javi, gives it to Brown on the baseline. Brown puts it in, can't get it to go, out of bounds, off of Hoying, and it'll be Vulcan basketball.
And that's a very close play right there to see who it went off of, but you got to start putting these looks into the basket. You cannot let Mercyhurst's defense scare you away from possibly any shots. You're down by 5, got to cut it within at least that many.
Oh, Javi off of Ewing there. A good heads-up play, couldn't get it to go, but it goes right off of Ewing, and they'll try that again. That was nifty.
Yeah, he's done that before. I forget which game it was. I think it was Clarion that did that, and it didn't work then either, so a limited success rate.
Jack Eubank with a long 3, that's good. Jack Eubank gets on the board, and it's now a 2-point game.
Now those are Jack Eubank's first 3 points of the game. He was shut out in the first half. If he gets hot, he could be the answer to all the distance shots that Mercyhurst has been taking.
Now Ingram over to Hoying. Puts a spin moves, puts up shot, no good. Ewing can't slap it in. Now it's got Jack Eubank. Jack Eubank, speed pulls it back, almost stolen away by Jere Williams. Got to be careful. Cook gives it to Javi, who works inside on Ingram. Ingram pushes him down. Big fight for the basketball, huge scrum. Ball pops out. Somehow Richard Smith gets it. He puts up a shot, no good. Big action, and Calvin Brown can get it, and it'll be a foul on Mercyhurst. Wow.
Goodness gracious.
I can't even catch my breath.
This is something else when we're looking at this. And that foul is going to go on Jere Williams. That's his third. This is something else, Matt.
This
all
really
the
is.
chaos and confusion we've seen out in the court so far.
I mean, great action. It's very exciting action for all the fans here. Richard Smith will go to the line. He was 2 for 2 last time he was at the charity stripe. And he takes a shot, and he's now 3 for 3, and it'll say a 1-point game. And the Vulcans have a chance to tie it up for the first time since the game was tied at 14.
And if you do tie it up, that's huge because at least you're staying with Mercyhurst. They may get those points down back to the other end, but if you can stay with them, that's huge.
Now back in, so Richard Smith perfect from the free throw stripe, and we are tied at 31.
That 60.5 percentage on the free throw line, that's due to some early season struggles. He's been a lot better of recently.
He absolutely has improved, as now once a 5-point lead is erased. Here's Sean Bynes for 3, and he says, we're not tying this game anymore. We're back up by 3.
And he comes in shooting 28.5% from 3, so you're not going to give him that look all the time thinking he's going to take it. He did there, and he made California pay for it.
And it just seems when Cal tries to take the lead, they just cannot take it back. And now that ball is blocked away by Daly. Bynes tries to save a good effort, but no good there. California will retain possession.
And Bynes, he's definitely been the player so far for Mercyhurst that's done all the action. If he keeps this up, he's going to really help his chances to help his team to victory.
Drew Cook gives it to Jabby. 17:05 remaining here in the second half. Jabby worked on by Daly. Gives it over to Cook. And over to Richard Smith. Smith gives it inside. Brown left hand hook, puts it in and makes it a 1-point game.
That's 6 points now for Brown after 10 Saturday night against Slippery Rock. He's definitely, I think, getting more involved into this offense after, the first few games. He's new to this, so he's going to have a couple of learning curves. I think he's starting to finally figure it out.
He's a good body out there. I mean, the kid's 6'9", so he's with that big size advantage now that Cal suddenly has from last season. Here's Bynes. He's played a heck of a game. And Ingram. I mean, talk about Sean Bynes. He was ready to just burst out, and he's having a coming-out party. Now, Jones loses the ball. A wrestling match between Jabby and Alvin Fuja. He can't get it, but Bynes gets the rebound, and it looks like he'll force the foul on Calvin Brown.
And I agree with that foul. If you look right here, Brown's kind of, over his back on that one. So Bynes going to go to the line. I believe he's perfect on the day.
Yeah.
And coming in, he is at 71.4%.
He's now got 11 points, and it leads anybody on the floor. I mean, the crazy thing is, mentioned earlier in the game, he's only averaging 7.8 points per game. You just continue to watch this kid. He's only a junior, so and he puts the shot in, so he makes it a 2-point game again. We're going to see Tony Richardson come in for the first time this half for Calvin Brown. Brown with 3 fouls, so he's starting to get into a little foul trouble.
Yeah, Brown, and the one thing I could hear Coach Bill Brown tell Richardson when he's going in the game, he said, play. And I think that's what you got to get from Tony Richardson. He has no points yet. He got into that little scuffle earlier before. I'd like to see him shake that off. Maybe get some points here. Maybe do some dirty work down low. He's guarded by a much smaller player. He can maybe do some work.
Here's Drew Cook. All right, Jackie back right corner, no good. Just up the rim, rebounded by Alvin Fuja. Ingram. Surround Jackie back. Push off Jackie back and forces him back. Now to Damon Jones. Jones has not had a point yet in this game. He's the team's leading scorer. Now Sean Bynes with the basketball on Richardson. Works around. Pulls the ball back. Puts it in. Just rolls out. Tough luck, Sean Bynes.
Yeah, and you can't do anything about that. Richardson, he had a great defense on that one. Bynes just had a good look.
Jabby airballs it, and he's going to hear that from the crowd. I bet they were waiting all night to pick that out. Now, and Callan Daly shows them how it's done. Mercyhurst back up by 5, but as we're going to have a timeout here by Coach Brown, but Mercyhurst has gotten that 5-point lead, but they haven't been able to really hold it.
Yeah, every time Mercyhurst seems to be pulling away, California makes a run right back into it. I could expect them to do the same here as well, because California's defense has clicked at certain times in this game, and it seems to be when they need it most, but they just haven't been able to get a consistent click going on throughout this game to stop Mercyhurst's offense, especially those long jumpers and when they try to work it inside.
Now we're going to see some highlights here, and this was second half so far. Ingram got it started for Mercyhurst. Jackie Beck finally got on the board with this 3-pointer. That was a huge shot. And look at that nifty little play there. Jabby almost snuffed out by Ewing, lost the ball, but you got to love the excitement so far in this half. His body's just everywhere, all on the floor, and just great action all around. It's put this great crowd here. And Zach, here are the PSAC West standings, and Mercyhurst tied with their crosstown rivals and IUP as well, but they got the advantage over IUP. They play IUP in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and looking behind California, Edinburgh and UPJ were both winning tonight. And if California were to lose tonight and lose Saturday to Edinburgh, Edinburgh would take over the 5th spot in the PSAC. And California, depending on UPJ's results, they could be looking in. I think they definitely have a chance between those 3 teams to definitely do themselves the best favors, because they have Edinburgh at home this Saturday, and then you go to UPJ, which is always a tough place to play. But you also get Clarion and Seton Hill at home, which are not easy games, but they're a little bit easier opponents than some of the top dogs that the other teams have to face.
And Clarion, as that ball is stolen away, watch what he does, and a one-hand slam, Callan Daly.
And Callan Daly just went right around Smith to get that ball. Smith couldn't get there because Daly kind of had a little hook on that one. No foul called, but it makes 7-point game.
Richardson double team, puts up a shot, draws the foul. So nice looking play by Richardson. He's going to go to the line.
That foul's going to be on Uffen Fugia. It's his first.
But now Mercyhurst has their largest lead of the game at 7. These are going to be 2 big shots here for Tony Richardson, who's not scored yet and only shooting 51% from the field, as we're going to have a timeout here by, I believe it was called by Mercyhurst. And look at stats comparison in a second here, but at this timeout here, Mercyhurst starting to frustrate Cal a little bit there, but Callan Daly, a little pickpocket action there, and throws down the one-hand slam. Here is the stat rankings, and Zach, you can see it's Mercyhurst's defense that really plays big in every single game.
Yeah, and California's defense is
not too far behind. Not
bad by any means. I mean, their defense actually has been pretty good. Their scoring, though, has actually taken a little bit of a dip going into this year. I thought, at the beginning of the year, California scored a lot of points. I thought they were going to continue that scoring output with Smith and Jabby and Jakubic in his 3rd year. It seems like Jakubic still has not grown into his body. He's grown since he's been here. Seems like those couple of inches he's had have not helped. But you see, Callan Daly, he only needed a couple inches to get that dunk. A big play. We remember last year, Anthony Lytle, he went off.
He brought the house down.
Callan Daly, not as big of a dunk. I give that one maybe a 6 compared to Lytle's, but still the opportunity to get that dunk. It's a college player's dream to be able to just have a breakaway and get a one-on-none.
And it's always exciting for the fans because you can see the whole team was on their feet, just wanting to see what he can do with no one around them. But we're going to see Tony Richardson go to the line. Mentioned only 51% from the free throw stripe and badly misses that one.
And we could hear the fans behind us. They're giving it to him. I think that's what's intimidating about playing in this place. Is the fans are not going to back down from you no matter what you do.
Richardson. They're going to wave that shot off there.
There was a lane violation.
Oh.
So the shot wouldn't have counted no matter what.
So big break now, another disaster for Tony Richardson at the free throw stripe. Mercyhurst going to take it back, and they could really do some damage with 14:41 remaining. Now, Daly. Now, big jostle inside. Ewing throwing elbows on Richardson, gets it back, and it looks like they're going to call Ewing for that.
I don't know exactly what that.
3-second violation.
Yeah, 3-second violation, because he was standing around. I was surprised he didn't get a travel call to him. I don't think he moved that pivot foot, but moving around so much, he was definitely standing in the one spot for 3 seconds.
Jabby over to Jackie back here. Marks. We haven't called Marks his names a lot. He only has 4 points in this game, but it feels like it's been a while. Jabby over to Jackie back. Gives it to Marks. Almost stolen away by Jones. Marks gives it to Richardson. And Jackie Beck backs up. He's going to pull up for a 3 and buries it. Jake Jackie Beck, a huge, huge shot for the Vulcans. It's a 4-point game.
He has 6 now, 2 3-pointers in this game, and it's back to 4. Mercyhurst, they've not been able to pull away still in this game. California has found a way to hang tight with them.
Now, Uffen Fugia. Send it over to Ingram. Gives it back to Uffen Fugia. Over to Daly. Daly, 3-pointer, fade away, no good. Rebounded by Richard Smith.
And Richard Smith at halftime, he had 5 rebounds. He's had a couple more here. He's been doing a good job rebounding the ball. Calvin Brown had 8 at halftime, too.
Really good. A lot of involvement out of Calvin Brown in this game. Probably most any game he's played. Tony Richardson loses the ball. It's stolen away by Ingram. Here comes Jones. Jones puts on the moves. Nice little windmill action. Gets on the board. It's back to 6.
Yeah, Jackie can't do anything about that. When he moves the ball like a roller coaster throughout his arms up to the hoop.
Jabby plows over Ewing, and he's going to get called. He's been really aggressive, and normally he's been getting the blocking call forced, but there gets called for the charge.
And it looks like we're going to see Cook check in a moment, as well as Calvin Brown, who has 6 points tonight. We'll see who comes out for the Vulcans. Looks like it's going to be Jabby, as well as Tony Richardson.
So now, and look at this little whoop into the basket. And that's, again, more highlight reel worthy. But I mean, the surprising thing is that was Damon Jones' first 2 points of the game. He's the leading scorer.
Not a bad way to get the scoring started for yourself, though, in a nice play like that. It's always going to be hard to top that shot from now on, though.
Ewing, here's the option Fuja. And now back to Daly. Onana, first action we've seen out of him. He pulls up for a jumper, enters the game off the bench, and it's now our 8-point Mercyhurst lead.
That's 5 for Onana coming off the bench. Back to 8. Now, California, Mercyhurst's offense is clicking again. You cannot let them pull away. This might be the opportunity that they'd have to do that.
Richard Smith gets the marks, forced pass. He's going to get called for a charge.
And we'll have to look at that one again, possibly. But you know, at this point, Mercyhurst, the defenders are getting set in the right way. We'll look here.
Yeah, it's tough to see. There's so many bodies down there, but I mean, the official was right on the play.
And the Mercyhurst, this is their opportunity to pull away. If they can get a basket here, it's a double-digit lead. And with Mercyhurst's defense, I don't know if California can come back with that offense.
Often Fuja. It's to Dre Williams. 3 ball. No good. Rebounded by Drew Cook. And California probably very fortunate that shot did not go in.
Yeah, that would have definitely been a stunner.
And one. Nice play there by the sophomore.
And a very good play there by Cook, getting that basket to fall in. And that's possibly a 3-point play if you can get this one. That would make it back to a 5-point game. Like I said, Mercyhurst cannot pull away.
Drew Cook forcing the hoop and the harm on the play there. 12:06 remaining here in the second half. And Cook, he split his free throws the last time. Oh, off the rim there, rebounded by Ewing. That's a big miss.
So now it's still a 6-point game, a 3-possession game, excuse me. 2 if you get some 3-pointers.
Oh, Richard Smith forced a mistake on Hale, but Daly's there to back it up. Still can't get it. Hale gets it back and somehow gets it off, and Fuja. Disaster averted, and now Onana almost makes the 3, and it's no good. Here come the Vulcans.
A crisis averted there for the Vulcans.
So now Vulcans get back here. Jackie Beck gives it to Drew Cook. For Marks and then to Calvin Brown. Taking their time. Mercyhurst giving no lanes. Jackie Beck. This is to Brown. Works around Onana. Jumps, gives it to Jackie Beck. Under 10 on the shot clock. Jackie Beck, big 3 ball. Bounces in and out, and Jackie Beck's got 3 threes for this game.
And now it's back to a 3-point game. Jackie Beck, 9 points in this half. You keep him going, gets you definitely right back in this game.
And Jackie Beck there with the awareness to step back and pull up for the 3. Here's Ewing on Brown, looking, and there's a back errant pass, but Onana gets it back. Onana gives it up to Hale. He thought it's a shot, and they're going to call him for a travel. And we're going to have our second media timeout of the second half. We're going to take a break as well. 10:50 remaining here in the second half. The Lakers, the lead's only down to 3. Stay tuned for more great action here on CUTV.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to make a wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
Back to the MAC here in Mercyhurst University. We got a good ball game here. Mercyhurst almost got out to a double-digit lead, but now it's a 3-point game. It's lead as much as 8. But Zach, there was a big shot there when Mercyhurst was up by 8. wide open Gino Nana. He couldn't put it in. Now, after he missed that shot, the Vulcans have went on a little run themselves.
Yeah, it's basically an 8-point swing at this point because now it's down to a 3-point lead. California can tie it if they so choose on this possession.
Now Marks. They have not been tied since they were at 31 early in the second half. Here's Daniel Sapp. Sapp. And they're going to be a call away from the ball here. It's like they're going to call it on Onana. That'll be his first.
That's going to be the 4th team foul for Mercyhurst. 4 team fouls for California as well. Not even halfway into this half. We're definitely heading our way towards free throws at the end of this one.
Always comes down between these two teams. Calvin Brown takes a hard foul. He'll go to the line.
Sometimes I wonder, they can go down so hard, how they get back up. Hearing the thud against the court. Look at this play. Going up for the shot, tried to get it in. He actually still got the attempt off to try and get it in the basket too.
So now Calvin Brown goes back to the line. He was 2 for 2 on his first trip to the free throw stripe way back in the first half. And Brown buries the first one to make it a 2-point game. 10:34 remaining here in the second half.
And Calvin Brown, he has 7 points and 8 rebounds now. He's on his way to a possible double-double.
I mean, and the kid's got a couple blocks. He's got 3 blocks. He's having himself a heck of a game, and he buries both of them. 4 for 4. It's now suddenly a 1-point game.
And Richard Smith, he's also a possible double-double candidate too. 10 points and 6 rebounds.
That's what they needed out of Richard Smith here. Here is Onana. Passed by Daly, poked up by Marks. Mercyhurst basketball.
I don't know if Marks actually touched that one. But I know Marks got his hand down on the ground, but I don't know if he actually ever touched it. It looks like Onana was kind of juggling between his feet a little bit.
Jones is going to inbound here for the Lakers. And throws it way back to Ingram. They'll take it. 21 seconds on the shot clock.
10:15 to go. So still a lot of time in this one. It's still a very close game. Kind of what we've seen the last two from Gannon and Slipper Rock too.
Vulcans be battle tested playing these close games. Here's Jones. Gives it to Ingram. No good. That was Callan Daly, excuse me. He misses the shot, rebounded by Smith.
And California can take their first lead in quite some time if they get a basket on this possession.
Richard Smith. Since they're up 4-3 early in the game, Smith puts it in, can't get it to go. Huge fight, and Sapp gets the rebound.
And fans weren't a travel, but the ref saying the ball was bobbling and would not count if it was a travel.
Oh, Brown pushes over, binds, puts up a shot, and well, Smith will slam it for good measures, but Brown's going to go back to the stripe.
Yeah, we'll see who the foul's going to be on. It's going to be on.
It's going to be on Ingram. That's going to be his third. So now with Daly's got 3, Ingram's got 3. Mercyhurst is starting to creep up in the foul trouble.
Yeah, one more, and Cal's in the bonus. So Cal's figuratively in the bonus at this time anyways, and they've been good free throw shooting so far tonight. That could help them.
Calvin Brown ties the game at 44. We're going to see Jackie Beck check in for Marks.
Jackie Beck, the hot hand so far in this half. Smith, Brown, and Jackie Beck, 9, 9, and 10 for Smith. Brown could add to his total if he makes this one.
For the lead. Off the rim.
We saw this exact same script against Slipper Rock. Tied up, can't take the lead. That one free throw could make the difference late in this game.
What if the Lakers win by 1? But now Daly almost loses it. Gets it back to Jones. Jones, Hoying. No good. Hoying still has not gotten any points yet.
And this is the opportunity Cal needed. Get the opportunity to take back the lead. Put some doubt in Mercyhurst.
9:11 remaining here in the second half. Brown, jumper. Good. Calvin Brown redeems for the missed foul shot and gives the Vulcans a 2-point lead.
What a shot there. I did not expect him to step out almost to the perimeter right behind the free throw line and make that jumper. He has 11 points now and 8 rebounds.
He's playing a heck of a game. Oh, Ingram loses the ball. Fake right with Brown. And they're going to call it a jump. And Mercyhurst is going to call a timeout. Very good play there. But Ingram is still down.
Yeah, and Ingram, he's hurt. He's hurt and getting up off that floor. And right now, California's on a 10-0 run since being down 44-36. That's an incredible run. Remember when I said I don't know if they could be down by 10 and be able to come back? Well, they proved me wrong.
Down 10 by Gannon.
On a 10-0 run. I just didn't know because of Mercyhurst's defense how good they are.
Yeah.
But they've definitely proved me wrong.
It's been great, and Zach we're going to take a look, tease our YouTube page, CUTV Sports 1. We're going to put the full broadcast of this game. We have put all our full broadcasts on that page dating back a couple years. A lot of great stuff on there. Old match plays. I believe there's a high school roundup on there too. But there's a lot of great stuff on there, a lot of videos. And also our News Center page, CUTV News Center. All News Center segments go on that page. You can see our YouTube page anytime, anywhere. And I know my parents back in Reading, your parents down in Georgia, they love watching our action.
Yeah, being down in Georgia, YouTube is a great invention. So thank you to the, I know there are rivals, but the IUP student who helped invent YouTube.
Hey, he's 15 miles away from me. Now Bynes, he's had a good game. He's kind of quieted off a little bit. California on the bench, 5 seconds of the shot clock. Hurst got to get something off here. Jones puts it up, no good. It's going to be shot clock violation anyway. California basketball. How about this defense?
Great defense. It's really picked up. They have given up, as I look for my stats here, I think they've only given up 17 points in this half so far. They scored 20 themselves, so good job of forcing the tide on defense.
And Zach, we were talking about this over break. Mercyhurst has had chances to put this game away, but if you let a team underdog around, they're going to burn you and give them confidence that you can win. Sapp, he hasn't gotten the board yet. Sapp, he's called for a double dribble. Tough turnover there for the Vulcans.
And Sapp on that one, I don't think he realized when he got the ball and brought it back that they were considering that a dribble. So when he spun around and dribbled it again, they call him for the double dribble. It's a freshman mistake that you make sometimes, but you cannot blame him for that one because I don't know if he necessarily thought when he grabbed the ball it was a dribble.
And now, Mercyhurst. Here's Daly. Daly almost loosed the ball, puts up a shot, no good. Rebounded Calvin Brown.
I don't have the stat in front of me, but it's been minutes since Mercyhurst has made a field goal.
This California defense turns it on in the second half. They did it against Gannon. They did it against Slippery Rock, even though they couldn't pull it off against Slippery Rock. Now they're going to call a charge on Calvin Brown there as he threw an elbow up against Hoying.
And Coach Bill Brown is not happy about that. You have to get Coach Randy Roth in front of Bill Brown to calm him down for that one. I don't know if I agree with that call either, though, Matt. I think just the spin around, an elbow just kind of spun in there, and they call a foul on him.
4 fouls for Calvin Brown. And Zach, here is the last basket for Mercyhurst. Damon Jones with that nice little roller coaster move here, but that Gino Nana was back-to-back. That's when they got up that 8-point lead. But it all started with that 3-point play there by Drew Cook. That it was kind of underrated. And this gave California the lead. And where we're at, 46-44. Brown and Zach, here is our upcoming schedule here. We got a big game with Edinboro. It really goes quick, Zach. Edinboro, next week we're going to be at the KCAC. That place is going to be crazy. Clarion and then UPJ, it's going to be a big stretch for both the men's and the women's teams.
Yeah, and the one game I'm looking forward to the most, the women's game at the KCAC.
Oh, game of the year.
That's going to be the game that might decide the #1 seed in the PSAC when it's all said and done. But for the men, the big important game, I think, in my mind, is definitely at home against Edinboro, because that's the team that's really playing hot right now in the PSAC.
Oh, absolutely.
They were up by 22 at halftime against Seton Hill, who has been playing pretty well themselves. Edinboro is the best team in the PSAC that, if the playoffs started today, would not be having a home game, but could go on the road and definitely upset a team.
And now California here. You look at this. Look at these rebounds here. 35-22. What they're doing there. Calvin Brown, he's got 9, and one more, he could get double-double.
And it's all because Mercyhurst is only shooting 36% in this game, 16-44. They're only shooting 33% in this half, compared to California, who's shooting 46%.
Another key stat here. Mercyhurst, 8 for 8.8. Now Jackie Beck, I was looking down at the stat sheet, but he was on the floor, so he might have took a shot to the mouth.
Hoying had a screen. Jackie Beck turned around, ran right into him. I don't know why that's not a foul. Hoying was right behind him, and Jackie Beck ran into him.
Jeray Williams off the mark, rebounded by Jackie Beck. That gives it back to Jabby there. So, but it was kind of a, and now Jackie Beck's going to get called here for plowing over Ingram. That was away from the ball, and now there's to get a little testy here. Armin Marks, the senior leader, is going to put everybody up the midcourt here.
Jackie Beck talking with the officials right now, and Jackie Beck saying, why was the other player not called for a foul and I was in this scenario? And we're going to go ahead and look at the box in a moment.
And we're going to have a little box action here.
All right, man, roll it. Last play, last foul. Just keep rolling it and scoring right here. You have the other angle. He's trying to get the other angle right now. Looks like this, maybe. No, can't get it.
So now we are back here after the officials were talking about the action was away from the ball.
I think what they were trying to do is decide whether or not there was a technical foul on Jake Jakubik, and we did not have the view on that camera for them to be able to decide that. So I don't know if they're going to be able to call that. It's going to be an offensive foul, but no technical on this one. So Mercier is going to get the ball, an opportunity to tie it or take the lead.
So now Jakubik, the foul, so from frustration starting to boil over on both sides here. Andy Hoying going to be inbounding here. We got 7-11. Oh, that sounds good right now. 7-11 to go in this second half. And Mercyhurst, again, like you said, looking to tie it back. Oh, almost a little juggle there by Ingram. And also, here is Andy Hoying. Ingram over to Bynes. Good defense there by California. Ingram looking for someone. Gives it to Onana. 10 to shoot. Onana. What's he going to do? Puts up a shot. No good. Rebounded by Javi.
Still, no field goals in the last 3 or 4 minutes for Mercyhurst.
And Javi over to Sapp. Gets it over to Jakubik. Now over to Marks. 6:22 remaining. Smith. The Jakubik. Gives it to Javi.
You got 10 to shoot.
Here's 10 to shoot. Sapp. Looking around. Spins on Bynes. Puts up a shot. Can't get it to fall. Rebounded by Mercyhurst.
Great look for Sapp, though. That was a great opportunity. Just not able to convert it. Just rolled off the rim.
Here is Ingram.
You got 5:55 left in this game, and Mercyhurst, you've been on a long shooting drought. Eventually you're going to catch fire. California, you got to start hitting your baskets as well.
Here is Onana. The Williams. Williams for the tie. Buries it. There you go. He ends it. Jare Williams ends the long scoring drought and ties this game at 46. What a game.
And that's 9 now for Jare Williams. The only other player with more is Sean Bynes. He has 13.
Javi. Working around, gives it over to Sapp. Give it to Jakubik. Long three. Off the rim. Rebounded by Richard Smith. On the baseline. Gives it to Sapp. Sapp puts it around. And they're going to call Mercyhurst for the foul.
Okay, yeah, they are going to call on Ingram. I was getting confused because the ref was pointing the other direction. I thought they were going to call it on California, but I didn't see anything there. They are going to call it on Ingram. That's his 4th. He has 5 points in this game, but now 4 fouls. We're going to see Cook check into the game as well. Sapp going to the line where he's 80.6% this year. No points yet, but he can break this tie as well.
We're going to see Tony Richardson check in after these free throws. Saw Bynes and Ingram check out. Here is Daniel Sapp. Buries it. California with a 1-point lead. 5:09 remaining.
In California, if you need an offensive spark, a guy that has not played yet in this game, Nick Miller, a freshman from Western Beaver. He led the Whipple in all scoring last year, nearly 30 points. Great three-point shooter if you need a little bit of a boost in your scoring abilities.
That was too ice cold by there. Ice in his veins is what I was trying to say for Daniel Sapp, 48-46, California. Mercyhurst looking for a response. 5 minutes to go. Here's Onana, almost lost the ball. Backs up. Worked on by Drew Cook. Gives it back to Damon Jones. Over to Hoying and back to Jones. Onana thought about a three, works inside, gets fouled, puts it in! How clutch is that? And Cook is down.
Yeah, and Cook looks to be hurt. His nose may have gotten hit in that one. We'll see this play again. Cook with the foul. Looks like Onana may have just shoved his elbow into his face too, and Onana coming away with it, of course, with that smirk grin because he just scored and now could possibly put his team in the lead. He's 94% from the free throw line this year. He's missed twice all year.
That is crazy. Dead silence here at the MAC. Automatic. And Mercyhurst up by 1.
And when you only miss 2 free throws a year so far in this season, you know you're going to have a great chance to make the one that you have to make at that one time.
Here's Javi. Here's Drew Cook. He's on some moves. 4:34 remaining here in the second half. Khalil Javi. Gives it over to Marks.
And both teams are in the bonus now.
Marks, Javi. Javi backs up. 10 to shoot. Gives it over to Marks again. Marks, 5. Cal's got to get something off. Cook, jumper, off the rim, rebounded by Hoying.
And he's lucky that one hit the rim, or unless it was a shot clock violation and a turnover. But 4:03 to go. Next stop will be the final media timeout, most likely.
Here we go. Hoying almost loses the ball, gets it back. And back to Damon Jones. Jones. Loses the ball. Big scrum for it. Ewing's got it all around. Swatted in. I think Richardson got a piece of that, but that just got in. Mercyhurst back up 3.
Ewing has 6 now. California going to take a timeout. 3:32 to go. We'll figure out if it's actually going to be the media or not.
And looks like we're going to just count as I think it's just going to be a 30-second timeout here. So we'll keep it here. 3:32 remaining. Mercyhurst fell behind twice, but again, just took it right back like the resilience team they are. This is what they do to Cal in these last couple games they faced each other. They kept it around, but there's just something in the end.
Yeah, and Matt, we're going to go and look at the best way to communicate with us at CUTV is at our Twitter page, CUTV_PA. We put our links to our full game highlights that we put on YouTube. We put links to other things that we could possibly cover. I know we got basketball ramping up through the end of March. We got the women and the men. So it's going to be a busy season. The best way to keep up is at Twitter.
And also for this Sunday, we did a straw poll with the Cal community who do they think is going to win the Super Bowl, and we interviewed 10 people, and 9 thought the Seahawks were going to win, 1 being the Patriots. If you would like to tell us who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl, tweet us at CUTV_PA, hashtag CUTVSBPicks. Javi loses the ball, stolen away by Hoying, and gets it back.
And this is an opportunity, Mercyhurst, if you score here, that might be a little bit of a dagger. Start putting some of the nails in the coffin. California's defense has got to step up one more time here, especially.
But Mercyhurst tried to put this game away, and they really have not. We got exactly 3 minutes to go. Jones, he's been kind of quiet. He gets it off to Callan Daly. 10 on the shot clock. Onana spinning around, looking for a shot. He'll take a jumper. Well off the mark. Rebounded by Callan Daly. Came out of nowhere.
Huge play there by Daly. The one guy to watch here on offense, I think, Andy Hoying. 38.5% from distance. If you get him in an open space and an open look, he will definitely take it.
Onana thought about a 3. We're working on Jackie back. Gives it back to Daly.
2:25 to go, so this next up will be the media timeout, but it's been a long time.
Javi almost got it. Here's Jones. Works around, gives it back. 3 ball. Callan Daly, no good. Rebounded by Jackie back.
Actually, there was only going to be a 2 because he was inside the perimeter.
Good eyes on that. Where's Javi? And they're going to call a foul on Mercyhurst.
That foul's going to be on the floor. It's going to be a 1-and-1 for Javi. The foul's going to go on Gino Nana.
And now we are going to have the final media timeout of the second half here. Stay tuned. And buckle up. We're coming down to the wire. It's 51-48 Mercyhurst Lakers. Stay tuned for the end on CUTV.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to Make-A-Wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
And now we are back here, 2:09 remaining. It's crunch time here on the campus of Mercyhurst University at the MAC. And Khalil Jabby is going to be going on the line for a 1-and-1.
And Jabby on the year, 82%. He has 7 points, none in this half though.
Be a big time to break that scoring drought. Now, loudest this crowd's been so far for any free throws. Jabby buries it. 2-point game.
So that at least keeps it within a single possession for California. If you hit this one, brings it down to 1 point, but you don't need this one yet.
Jabby, once more. Hits it. 1-point game.
Great ability by all free throw shooters here tonight for California. Just put on the Bose headphones and shut out the crowd.
So Nana to Ewing. Tries to get it stolen away by Calvin Brown. Now it's back, stolen back by Williams. Puts it in. Jeray Williams. He was the closer in November, and he with a big shot there in January.
And there's nothing Brown could do. No one came out to help him. You cannot put that one on Calvin Brown.
Not at all. So a huge change of events here. Onana almost pokes that out of Armin Marks' hands. Jabby to Cook. Over to Calvin Brown. Brown fires it. Cook, 3-ball, and the tie. Buries it. Drew Cook from downtown. This game's tied at 53.
That's 8 points now. And this one's looking exactly like the one I talked about.
Onana! Oh, Mercyhurst! What a shot by Gino Nana. And didn't you say earlier in this game, this guy can burn Cal at the end?
I said it earlier, and I said it would happen again, and he did. It's still only 3 points, though, and you got a minute 09 left. Look at these last three baskets.
Unbelievable game we've seen here.
The first one by Jeray Williams, after Calvin Brown got no help whatsoever down there. You cannot blame Calvin Brown for giving up that basket because he didn't get the help. Here, Cook, ice water. And then Gino Nana, he just dumped the whole ice bucket on him, and that one, putting that 3 in.
Well, you have the football team sitting over there. Actually, we see one of a Cal player's brother over there, along with Colin Kimball, who had the game-stealing interception, and they like to dump ice buckets on their coaches. So very appropriate. He's standing over there. He might get dumped an ice bucket after this game.
Yeah, at this point, I don't know if he dumped the ice on the coach or Gino Nana, if that's the game-winning shot. And another key here. Both teams are not in the double bonus. So that's a big factor in this one. It looks like Mercyhurst is delaying the timeout right now. California is ready. Mercyhurst is not coming out to the court yet. They're milking this timeout for as much time as they can get.
And so, I mean, it's an unbelievable game we've seen here tonight. A lot of close games, but Cal, I mean, they need this win to just keep pace with it. Just the pressure starting to build on them. They lose this game, you got one of the hotter teams, Edinboro, coming in. We mentioned that earlier, and that's going to be dangerous because Edinboro's going to be looking for revenge over Cal's road win back in November, right after this game.
This
So
one
now.
may be coming down to a buzzer beater, Matt, and that would be great. I know you've already called one before. Paige Alviani, Seton Hill.
1 minute to go. Richard Smith to Drew Cook. Now to Jabby. Jabby works inside. Calvin Brown to Cook. Out of bounds. Right, looked like Ingram might have got a piece of that one.
Yeah, it was either, I think it actually might have been Troy Williams because he was running down to the other side. I don't know if he got a piece of it or he was just running down waiting for the pick and the easy layup.
So now 51 seconds. Jabby. Big possession. 10 to shoot.
And you don't need a three here if you're Cal.
Cook puts in the moves. Jabby, they got to shoot. No call. They're going to call a foul on Daly.
Jabby turned around looking for the foul. We're going to see. It's going to be 2 shots. It is a shooting foul. That is going to be on Daly. That's his 4th. And this is big. It is a 2, not a 3. We'll see here. That is a 2 because his foot was on that line. It looks like they're going to look at it again.
Here.
All right. Okay, go ahead. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay, thank you very much. Thanks, fellas.
And we're back, Matt, and they were just clarifying if that was a 2 or a 3, and it clearly was a 2 from where we were looking at it.
It's the shortest review so far of the day. That's our 3rd review we've had so far in this game. It's a new CUTV record, Zach.
Yeah, I've been a part maybe of 1 or 2, but never 3 in one game.
Jabby, biggest shots of the game right here.
This place is roaring right now.
Everybody's cheering. Jabby sinks it.
He has 10 in the game. He is the 3rd Vulcan in double figures. Jack Bick with 9, Cook with 8. Marks and Sad, the only players to score 4 and 2 respectively. And another thing here, California does not have to foul. They just have to play defense because the shot clock and game clock have a little bit of separation.
Here is Jabby. Buries it. Puts the beats on and tunes out the crowd. Here we go, 37 seconds. Big pressure. Full court press.
Again, California does not have to foul.
Oh, no, almost losing. Here's Dre Williams, and they're going to call Cook for a foul there.
I think what they were trying to do maybe was play the half-court press, see if you can get a steal, and then when they pass half-court, foul. Because now, no matter what Mercyhurst does, it's still a one-possession game, and California could have last possession if they so choose. I would expect them to go for a 2 and extend the game. But if they want to hold it, go for the 3, then they could. It's all dependent on what Dre Williams does at the free throw line.
Dre Williams shooting 74.4% from the free throw stripe. That was Cook's 2nd foul. 1-on-1. Makes it. Just rolled in. And I bet every Mercyhurst fan in this building had their heart go right in their throat as that ball sat on the rim for a little bit.
And I think if you're California, if he misses this one, I think you have to hold it for final possession, because if you make it, then Mercyhurst could hold it. I think you have to hold it if he misses it here, but if he makes it, then you can definitely extend the game.
Then Winion, they're going to have Jerry Williams makes a 3-point game again. You have another Winion game. Shot clock's off. 3-point game.
Let's see what Cal does. They can hold it if they so choose.
Jabby, Jackie blocked by Williams and gives it to Boying. But his foot's on the line, California basketball.
That's a huge play right there, saying that he was out of bounds, because that ball could have been going the other way towards Mercyhurst. You look at the block here, Jerry Williams going after it. I think they're just going to say that he was out of bounds after he was going for the ball. So still 19.8 left. Let's see what Cal does. Jakovic tried the 3. I don't know if you try that again, though.
Jabby, 15 seconds. Looking around. Takes a shot for 2 and makes it. 1-point game. Timeout, California.
Coach Randy Roth basically almost tackling the ref, saying, I want a timeout. Great shot there by Jabby. We're going to get Armin Marks checking into the game when they start playback. 12.2 seconds left. Mercyhurst is one of the best free throw shooting teams in the PSAC. You see this shot. Looked like it might even been tipped a little bit, but still went in.
Great shot.
The only player on here that you really could consider fouling when they get the inbounds might be Callan Daly or James Ewing. Everybody else has very respectable numbers at the line. It's going to be hard for them to at least miss one of them, if not both. However, the big thing, the next foul is still only 1-1. It's not the double bonus yet. The next one for Mercyhurst is double bonus, and that could become huge with maybe 5 seconds left in the game if California somehow takes the lead.
So What a great game there. You can see the shot of the Mercyhurst faithful. Good crowd tonight in this very kind of small gym. But tell you what, Zach, these small gyms, the way you can pack these people in, it can make it really loud and make it very difficult. And they've been very loud. We saw that shot there. We talked about earlier. We saw one of Cal's brothers on the Mercyhurst team, Jack Abercrombie's brother. And then you saw Colin Kimball. I saw Mercyhurst quarterback Brett Boylan. It's amazing. With all these sports we can do, we can recognize different other teams' athletes that come here.
Yeah, well, when we see them once a year every year, we start to recognize them a little bit more. It's easier to recognize the basketball players because they don't have helmets on, but definitely seeing other athletes supporting athletes is always huge in any school.
Here's Daly, the Ewing. They fouled him.
And I think that's the right call.
Yep.
He's the one guy that was on the court that you wanted to foul. Mercyhurst, they had no other option to give him the ball, but bad play by Ewing not to just kind of toss someone, because there's a trailer down at the other end looking for it. Now with 10.5 left, Mark's coming out, Jack Ubeck back in. If he misses the first one, California will probably hold it and try for the win. If he makes the first and misses the second, I think you try for the tie. I don't go for the 3 for the win.
Zach, I don't believe Mercyhurst has missed a single free throw all night.
They have not.
Ewing misses it. Rebounded by Smith. 9 seconds. Here's the Jabby. 6 seconds.
5 seconds left.
5 seconds. Jabby to the basket. No good. Out of bounds. California basketball. 1 second left.
Oh my goodness. And Jabby's down on the court not believing he couldn't make that shot. But with 1 second left, if you're Mercyhurst, you have to guard the corners, guard the wings. Watch for anything. Timeout, California. Goodness gracious, Matt. 1 second left to get one basket. This is the greatest game California's played all year. Even though they may not win, they at least have the fuel knowing they can.
So close. We're gonna have another review here.
Let me see that last out of bounds, please. The last play out of bounds on the baseline. Yeah, I can't tell. You can't tell. Yeah, please. Okay. I don't think it's going to be much different. Just screened out. Can't tell. Yeah, I'm going to stick with the call.
And after fourth review here, it was ruled inconclusive, couldn't tell, and they already called it California basketball here. But Zach, this play right here, legends could be told, and we could remember this game for centuries.
Mercyhurst timeout. And Matt, I'm going to throw a line on you that comes from the greatest baseball movie ever, The Sandlot.
Oh, of course.
Whoever makes this shot, heroes get remembered, legends never die. And this one will go in the vault if California wins this game.
Oh, yes it will.
This is better than the Jonathan Winion game. My first game ever announcing was the Winion game.
Right.
Coming here, this one is absolutely better. But if I put 5 players out there, Jack Ubeck, Marks, Jabby, Smith, and Brown, because Smith and Brown can go down low. Smith can also shoot out. Brown can also shoot out. Jack Ubeck can shoot the 3. Marks can shoot the 3. Jabby can shoot the 3. But you don't need that. But you need pure shooters. And I think those have been your best shooters all night. Armin Marks, though, he has the clutch gene. I think it's his time to shine. I think you give the ball to Armin Marks if he's out there, and you try to let him win this game. That's what I would do. I'm not the coach. I don't make up the plays. Whoever they send out there, they're going to try and get it into the best hands available to try and sink this shot.
I mean, I can't argue anything about that, but here we go. We're going to see Smith. We're going to see Calvin Brown. We're going to see Khalil Jabby, Jake Jackubeck, and Drew Cook.
No Armin Marks. So my plan is out the window.
Dre Williams, Callan Daly, Terrence Ingram,
you have to watch here for Jabby's play when he hits it off the back. Williams is turned around right now. He's got to be careful.
Smith! This is it! Oh my goodness! Oh, Richard Smith, if he completes that play, could have brought the house down.
Oh
but
my
Mercyhurst gets the win.
Oh my goodness, man. I saw that happening and I'm thinking, oh my gosh.
Zach, I would have fell out of my chair if this goes in. Look at this. Well executed play, but just out of the fingertips because that was going in. It doesn't get any tougher than that. And once again, another heartbreaker at the MAC between these two teams.
And this is the last time California and Mercyhurst will play this year unless the playoffs. But I'll tell you what, next time, California may have the upper hand. It's hard to beat a team 3 times.
It really is. But once again, our next broadcast this Saturday, if it's anything like this game, make sure to stay tuned for that one. Edinburgh and Cal on Saturday at 5 o'clock. If you can't watch, you come out to the Convocation Center and support the team. For Zach Prosba and our great CUTV crew, my name is Matt Hagee, saying so long from the MAC. Good night, everyone.